Now for real. Rolling.
Okay.
Yeah, you look cute.
Oh,
You
thank
have a nice smile.
you.
Just relax. And then just talk. Yeah, just talk.
Alright. Hello again.
Hi, Ray, and everyone watching this.
But everyone out there watching this don't really know you. So you need to tell those who don't know who you are.
Okay. I am a young black lesbian woman. I am Naledi Create. Yeah, I've been getting used to that name a lot now.
Wait, explain.
Yeah. So cool. This is what happened, right? Like when I opened an Instagram account, I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do this Naledi thing because everyone calls me Naledi in high school. So I just got used to it. But as I realized, I'm Christian, so I believe in speaking things and they'll manifest the way you speak them. So later on, like a few years later, I was like, yeah, I want to add create to my Instagram handle because I feel like it's a direct command to me to create with my words, with my like fonts and stuff like that. So I just added it onto it. And then, yeah, in the past 6 months, it's meant more because it's been more real. It's been more legitimate. When I do my gigs, I'm Naledi Create because I'm Naledi that creates. So it's like a star that is not just the creative, but it's responsible for creating, and also how I view women as people, as maybe reproductive human beings that can give life. I think my words can do the same in terms of my poetry and in terms of conversations that I believe we need to have as a society. I believe we create behavior, we create memories. So we go through life creating things, whether it's intentional or not intentional. Born and bred in Alex, worst place to find a girl like me, but hey, born and bred in Alex, moved to Polokwane because my mom had a job there, whatever. I grew up there for the rest of my childhood. And yeah, I'm in varsity now, studying civil engineering. And I don't like it, but I'm there, hey. I'm studying, at least I have a course. But yeah, that's me. And I'm really happy. I'm a happy soul. I'm an artist. I am a debater. I am, yeah.
So you said you moved from Alex to Polokwane.
Yes.
How was your childhood like?
Growing up in Alex for the little times that I can remember it was fun because I was a child and I could play with everyone on the streets. Moving to Polokwane, I could still play, but like the older you grow, the more conscious your parents get about school, like yo, I want homework and stuff. So yeah, it's not necessarily about the environment, but rather about me growing up, having to be responsible, having to have chores. Because in Alex Nikilongwa, like I was a child. So yeah.
Why did you move to Polokwane?
We moved because my mom got a job and she had to move to Polokwane. So she couldn't leave me there. I don't know where my dad was. I really don't know where my dad was then. But okay, he was there. We didn't live with him. So I had to move with my mom to Polokwane, and then, well, we moved to my dad's home where, yeah, his parents' place. So we stayed there for like 2 years. Yeah, I grew up with, who did I grow up with? I grew up with 3 siblings, with 2 cousins and my younger sister, whose name is also some sort of light. Yeah, Lesedi La Rona, great sibling. We were not so close when we grew up because she was more outspoken, more, yeah, feminine, more, yeah. So I had sisters that were like out there. They were like, you act badly. Like they were comfortable with saying no. And I was kind of like, yeah, ma, okay, yeah, okay.
About how you met her and how you guys created the bond that you
wow, how I met Naledi. It was Valentine's Day. I was dressed up. For no reason, I didn't have a Valentine state. I didn't have nothing. Except for some French guy who just asked me to be his date, which was just weird, but hey. Cool. So, Naledi, I met her. I went on the 14th of Feb, Valentine's Day. I wanted to sign up for debate. So, I went to the office on campus where I sign up. And then when I went there, Naledi was like by the foyer, by the reception with her friend. And then I was like, oh, hi guys, so where do I sign up for debate? And then she showed me, I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't really pay attention to her, but she said she saw me and she's like, oh my word. I didn't care less, I couldn't care less. I was like, oh, I just want to sign up for debate and just leave this place. So yeah, I left. A few days later, I bump into her on campus with the same friend she was with at the reception. So I know the friend because I met the friend before. So I was like, oh, hi, how are you? Yeah. And then Naledi was just them like, hi. Yeah, that was the first time I actually saw her. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a nice person. And then before I left them, before I walked away, I was like, oh, debate starts on Tuesday. Come through. And I'm like, you too. Come through to debate on Tuesday. And that Tuesday, Naledi walks in. The friend didn't come, funny. But Naledi walks in, I'm like, oh my word. That's when I was like, oh my word, I feel something, I want her to be close to me. And I think on that day, we were put together as a team and we had to speak together for the first time ever. And it was the only time that happened. So we spoke and then yeah, I was just attracted to this human being. And I made an excuse to get her numbers. This is, wow. I made an excuse to get her numbers in a way, she's a politician, right? So I was new to the institution and the whole politics thing. So I was like, oh, I want a free t-shirt, yeah, DA. And then she's like, yeah, I can get it for you. And I'm like, okay. She forgot the following day. I'm like, oh, you forgot the t-shirt. And then she gave me her numbers and was like, oh, remind me. I'm like, oh, yes, I got her numbers. So funny enough, I didn't get the t-shirt. I still don't have it, but hey. It's okay. So we started speaking, then grew closer, and the rest was history.
Okay, Thato, my girlfriend, and Thato, my close friend, are both the reason why I went back to debate. Okay, except one made me take the action of walking and going there. And the other one planted the thought of coming back to the society because I had left for about a year. In debate. So I met that. I still don't remember it being Valentine's, but yeah, she would know the date, I guess. But yeah, I met her and yeah, messed up stories that I was actually seeing someone else at the time. So it was more of a, Tapelo, who's that? Jehovah, no, we spoke about this. I can't do this. So it was more of a, that girl was pretty, and then and she's signing up for debate. Yeah, Ntwana, you should go. Because he had never been in debate before. I was like, yeah, man, debate is great. But yeah, maybe I'll go in. Yeah. And then met her, and then she's like, yeah, debate is next week, Tuesday. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go. So, yeah, maybe she's the reason I went back. But yeah, man, I probably missed that environment also. And my conversations with Thato Maloka, my friend, had kind of stirred that conversation or that decision to go into that route. So yeah, I probably went back because, yeah, she looked pretty once upon a time. Okay, even now, duh. But once upon a time isn't shit, that girl, boom, movie scene, she pops through. Shit, fam, that girl is cute. Okay, do you want her? No, I'm with my girl. But don't you want to see if she'll still be pretty on Tuesday? Sharp. And then, yeah.
So, how exactly did you navigate around having a girlfriend at the time?
I was okay. This is an interesting story because this goes into a conversation of women and plural relationships, I guess, and if society is ready for that, and if it's a legitimate thing as well. And my views, of course, are very different to what people would say, because it's not like I went to Thato and I was like, hey Joe, na le girlfriend ta ka to lahlana Joe, like you know. So for me it was more of a okay, I'm getting to know this person. I don't know if I want her to be my girlfriend or not, but I really like her. And yeah, she's part of my world because now I'm back in debate and we are talking and stuff. But at the point where I was like, I really like this person, set my girlfriend down. I'm like, fam, yeah, no, I like this other person. Hey. And remember we spoke about me and the possibility of me liking two people at the same time? Sorry, it's happening now. So that's how I navigated around it. And for most people, it sounds quite selfish, but to me, from an angle of having been in that space before, I needed, or what was important for me was just to be honest with both the people that I liked at that particular time. But my relationship with the other person that was in the picture was quite new, so I felt it was important for me to be clear about it then and to have that conversation with her before that. So for me, I kind of, maybe I had like a pre-thought that, okay, if this were to happen, she needs to know. So I had already had the conversation. But of course, that doesn't mean she was just like, yeah, oh, that's nice. No, that's not how it went. But that's how I tried to, make it go. As, remember we spoke about this. And I know we were both not ready for it to happen this soon, but it is happening.
I've been through like trauma with men and stuff. I've been in a relationship with a guy. Yeah, it wasn't as pleasant.
Tell us about that.
I've been in relationships with guys, and they're relationships, man. I wouldn't necessarily be like, okay, at some point you'd find yourself planning your future with a guy. Like, oh, we're gonna have kids in 2 years and stuff. But I feel like that's because of what society told me and how I was raised, in terms of, like, even today I still have a brother who says to me, I got you a boyfriend, because he knows I'm gay. Like, he's like, oh, I got you a boyfriend. And not so long ago he was around, he wanted to see him. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna see him, because he's gonna tell me about the boyfriend he got me that I don't want. And then, okay, cool. And then I said, I have, and then he was like, so she's like, what's I offensive? Not like your house. So, yeah, gender identification is a big deal in terms of that, because you never know who the person identifies as. And you can't assume, oh, okay, I'll make up.
It's so, like coming out. Like, I have a cousin who's gay, and he's been like that his whole life, so he doesn't feel the need to like have an event where he comes out to all of us. Like, he's just like, have you guys who are straight in the house, did you have an event to come out and say? The only event I'll have is when I'm getting married or whatever, then I'll be like, oh, I'm getting married, this is the person I'm getting married to. He's like, he's not gonna have an event and come out.
Yeah, you're not gonna have an event, but it's different, because being straight is, being heterosexual is normal. Everyone is acceptive about it.
I guess he rejects the normal.
No, I reject the idea of coming out as well, except to my parents. Like, I feel like that's a psychological thing that you have to tell them, change your expectations, like, just trim them up a bit and be more realistic. This is what, the chances of that happening are 0, the chances of this happening are quite high. So it's just a matter of, parents and family have certain expectations in life in general, so you have to shape those expectations and make them more realistic. But in terms of coming out and being like, hey, so social media, guys, this is me, this is who I am. No, man, I've been posting my pictures with my girlfriend all the time. Really? You can pretend like you didn't see?
With me, I didn't necessarily go around telling people I'm gay. I didn't go around telling all the girls that I like them because I'm gay. No. I got into a relationship with a girl. That's when I knew I was gay. I didn't feel like, oh, my parents still don't know I'm gay. Those are the people I feel like I need to tell that I'm gay. Because they don't. They probably know, but it would be fair for me to have a conversation with them and tell them, look guys, this is what's happening. So yeah, I'm still thinking about that. I'm really nervous. It's scary. Like I have sleepless nights because of this issue. But I feel like have a conversation. Like,
What are you nervous about?
I'm nervous about having to tell. My mom had a best friend on lesbian, so it might be easier with her. But it's going to be hard to have to tell her that your daughter's gay. Your firstborn child that was supposed to be an angel and be the righteous one, the kumbaya girl, is lesbian. Of which for her or the society is a bad thing, which I totally disagree with. But hey, it's going to be really hard to also have to tell my dad. He's very traditional and very, very Christian. He goes to the very same church that I didn't go to for about 3 years. That is anti-gay. So having to tell him that, guys, I'm gay. They don't go around bashing how gay people are assholes, like society would. But I don't know how what I'm afraid of is that I don't know how they're going to react. And I don't know what to expect, and that's scary. I don't want to say, okay, hate is a big word, but I'm gonna say it because I'm very angry, and angry is an understatement. I hate young black men. Don't get me wrong, this is another reason why I'm lesbian. I hate them because of what society or what they do. In the world we're living in, young black men feel a sense of entitlement on females, young black women. Or in this case, it's even worse when you're lesbian. Because they're like, oh, you don't know what dick feels like. Maybe we should give you some dick. There's an instance on campus where someone was like, oh, you're gay. Maybe you just need to dig up your anus and run down your throat. And that like hit home, right? Because it was like, oh my word. So this would happen, not necessarily because this is what I want. I wouldn't want to dig up my anus and run down my throat. Thank you. But for me to hear that from someone else who's on campus as a student, as a young black man, makes me or puts me in a situation where if he was to get me alone in a place where no one would walk in. So if I was in a room with him, just the two of us, no one's going to walk in at any minute. He would get a dig up my anus or put it or shove it down my throat. And that would be forcefully because he'd want to fuck the gay out of me. So as much as it's a nice environment to be around people who are also gay, because you find gays and lesbians on campus, it's also not safe to find patriarchal men who still feel like, oh, our woman's place is in the kitchen or on the bed on her back with a dick up her vagina. Because it's really scary to have to walk around as a lesbian woman in a short skirt or in anything, in leggings for heaven's sake, without having a man tell you how awesome your ass looks and how he would spank it and do all things to it. And these are the things we come across on campus. These are the things we come across everywhere. Because there's an instance where I was in town and I went to the bathroom. Like I was at a restaurant and I went to the bathroom, and some guy just walked like with me to the bathroom. He followed me to the bathroom. I'm not sure if he knew where I was, but I don't care. So he walked with me to the bathroom and I got into the bathroom and he got in too. But because in the bathroom you have these little stores that you just lock yourself in, he couldn't get access to me directly. So he knocked and he asked me to come out. Like, can we speak? It was scary to have a male human being in the female's bathroom. And again, to have him knock on my door and ask me to come out while I'm in the toilet, right? So it just felt super rapey, and I screamed, I caused a scene. Yeah, but it's also sad how when the police came to address this issue, all they could say was, he didn't touch you, he didn't have access to you, so hey, we can't prosecute him, we can't do anything. So yeah, like society's fucked up.
I'm about my sexuality and told them about that particular relationship and said, this is how I feel and this is the person I'm dating. And yeah, man. So as a Christian, that was an experience that I had as a Christian that is supposed to be going into ministry, who's expected to go into ministry, who's expected to serve God in terms of calling and in terms of lifestyle, in terms of ministry. So that was at that point when I couldn't contain the truth of who I am, and I had to have that conversation, although I knew it wouldn't be a response that I wanted. At that point, I think I knew, but still after that, I still tried to fight the shit out of being gay.
What kind of ministry were you involved in church?
So yeah, I started preaching in crusades when I was like, what? How old was I? When I was like 16. So since I was a kid, I grew up with this, yeah, you're going to be a prophet. Yeah, you're anointed to be an apostle type of thing. So I grew up in a Christian church. That's believed to be a called apostle of God, one of the few female apostles that will arise in this generation type of thing. So growing up in that, I have a really close relationship with God, had a really close relationship with God then. And so I started hosting crusades. So in those particular crusades, it was ministry, basically. I was preaching in some of the sessions and also organizing, inviting pastors, leading prayers. So I've always done that type of ministry in terms of teaching the word. And yeah, preaching and teaching prayer and stuff. So that's the type of ministry that I've been involved in. That's the type of ministry I know, and it's the type of ministry I love. Even today, I mean, I was in ministry last week Sunday. So yeah, it's something I've always done since I was a kid. So that came with a lot of, this is how you need to behave expectations. I remember this funny story that happened, and this was quite recently, after I had decided that, bye heterosexuality, I'm not going to try and fight this, like, this is just who I am. I go to church, I'm in church, yeah, obviously I'm in TUT, so I don't go to my home church quite often. So I go to church, the lady pulls me aside, she's like, fam, so yeah, Naledi, you're a role model to young people, and I'm sebedisa, hallelujah. Yeah, so hante rapela ne, kutle modimo a rona, ntho ya hao ya go apara marokgo, a se yona. Like being the person that I am, just keep quiet and say, oh, okay, ma, okay, thanks for the message, thanks for listening to God. And I bounce. So I sit my youth chairperson down and I'm like, okay, fam, this is my thing. I'm out here being gay. And this is the one thing God wants to talk about, me wearing pants. Like, really. So it's funny, the expectations in terms of, I hear God expectations from the Christian environment. But yeah, I've experienced a whole lot of energy from this is not what God wants, but I love you anyway. But I've also experienced a lot of, no, who's making you do all this stuff? Is it her? Is it the girlfriend? Blah, 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 blah. So I've had quite an interesting experience as someone who's expected to be in ministry, who's expected to take ministry very seriously as a service to God and as a service to humanity. So yeah. My student politician experience. Okay, so here's the interesting thing about how my experience has been different. Is that one, I had 2 flings with males that were in leadership when I was in first year. So, obviously they had this, my thing with Naledi is gonna work. And then later on that year, I was like, I can't do this. I met some awesome lady and we had our thing going. But so that worked out. And so the idea amongst comrades was that Naledi is as normal as a female comrade as anyone else. Until second year, I met another lady, and that was really serious. And I wasn't about to be it wasn't as long distance as with the other lady, because that other lady wasn't in TUT. So this time it was in their face. It was like, velo lesbian. Okay, since when? Mamang since. And and so that was the experience. The transition, I think, was really hard for comrades, because they knew, mamang blew it, maybe it's my turn. So that transition was interesting, but I didn't really experience any, I guess I will comrade la lesbian. My lesbian, my comrade thing. I genuinely didn't experience that. But also, I didn't experience any conversation about it. So it was just one of those things, live your life, but we're not going to talk about it. We're not about to talk about it. So it's evolved, of course, from then, which was like, 4 years ago, to now, where I'm in a different organization, of course, in a different relationship. But from that point, which was 2 years ago, to the point where I am now, in those 2 years, I've never been with any other male in my life. I've never been in a relationship with a male at all. So they've gotten used to, Naledi, yeah, Naledi one, yeah. Oh yeah, lesbian. Oh, okay. Well, so it's just become one of those normal things now. However, it's crazy because as a politician, you make certain decisions. Yesterday I was telling Thato about something. I was like, that guy. Remember when you were walking past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and there was a guy screaming, what, and you didn't hear what he was saying? He was basically saying, abanye abantu, God made them abafazi, now they want to be male. And so I had that experience this year, and it was very shocking because it came from a political environment. But it came from a political environment because I wasn't just lesbian. I was the lesbian that didn't want to give him a particular thing in a political sphere, which he expected would just go smoothly. And I said no, because there were discrepancies in whatever he was applying for. So that became something he wants to attack me with. So that's the only political, physical, loud, really harassing thing I've experienced. Of course, the other things are just like the guys that actually wanted to have relationships with me since I was the first year, coming back and be like, when I'm when are you coming back to me? Those types of experiences, I think, are the ones that were very sad. And also, it's sad because my comrade will always go around saying, so you'll have, when you are in a meeting and you're talking about certain things, or even when you are just in a caucus, you're just talking, it's not a formal meeting, and you're talking, vele. When that's because you slept with mama, he fucked your brains away, you can't even think straight. Like, that person, he fucked me, I don't know. So those types of things come up in meetings. I mean, it's 2 years late, it's like 3 years after I had that fling with that person. And today people, when I don't agree with them, want to say, it's because mamang. I mean, it's like with my SRC deployment. It was the same thing. But no, Naledi is sleeping with opposition, man. No, Naledi has slept with opposition. She won't listen. Apart from just being lesbian, it's also being a woman. Like, you saw what happened in whichever campus when we deployed a female. She will find a boyfriend there. Actually, plus this one Chow's woman, she'll find a girlfriend there. Pillow talk will get to her. So those are some of the experiences that are not unique to me because I'm a lesbian woman, but are unique to me because I'm a woman in politics, a student activist. You literally have to work 1,000 times harder. And when you are great, you hear people saying stuff like, in leadership amongst all women. And you're like, why can't you just say in leadership, fam? And people think you'll be happy when they say, all women in the university, even in management, when you are the one. I mean, I want you to rank me like that as a leader, not as, amongst all women. I probably whip all these male asses in the boardroom every day, and you're in those meetings and you want to say amongst women. So those are some of the experiences that are unique because I'm a woman, and that just show you how far and how bad the situation is. Like, the university is very toxic. That's the only university I know, so that's the only space I know. It's quite toxic for the female. I remember when we went into SRC, I mean, this is the first year where we've had at the first inauguration, we had 4 women in SRC, 4 out of 9 deployments in SRC. And it was a big deal. But you were told, oh no, you must expect this from this other male. Just laugh. Laugh. I don't want to laugh. He's harassing me, even if it's not physically. He's verbally implying things just because I'm a woman, you know? And to some extent, you do it, you tolerate it, sharp. And then you realize, no, man, but this thing shouldn't be like this. And you keep your distance and you stop certain things because you know that even the women around you will protect a particular individual, you know? So it's the university or the environment is sometimes quite toxic. But I've had a non-physical harassment environment, and I've had a very more accepting environment than I expected it to be. I'm myself all the time. I always think it's a safe space to be myself. Yeah. I don't know if it's because it's me and they know I'll tell them where to get off. I don't know if it's unique to me to find that safe space and to say I'm willing to engage to this point and this is as far as I'm going. So yeah, that's been my experience as a student, female, women activist. Yeah.
How do you two spend time with each other? What do you get up to?
Okay. We spend time doing a whole lot of reading. Like we read in the tub, in the bedroom. We read. We take walks in the park. Not in the park, I'm lying, on campus. On campus and read. Like we read a lot lately. We sleep a lot. We study sometimes. I study when she wants to study and when she forces me to study. Other than that, I only open my book day before the test. Yeah. What else do we do? We swim, we play, we talk a lot. We just talk. We talk about a whole lot of stuff. I mean, like, if the conversations that Naledi and I have are the conversations that society was having with each other, like, the world would be a better place. Like, we don't necessarily have conversations about gays and sexuality, but we have conversations about, like, everything. Everything that's an issue, we address.
What's your favorite thing about her?
She talks. I love her because she talks. Okay, I don't love her because she talks. I love the fact that she talks. Yeah. She is... I love her authenticity, even though she doesn't believe authenticity exists, but she's a genuine human being that is... Okay, because of Naledi, I realized how much of an artist I am. Because before I met her, I didn't really draw. Like, I was like, I can't draw, but I draw for my little sister's homework book and stuff. So when she came into my life, I was like, oh, damn it, I can draw. And she's like, yeah, you can draw, now draw more. And she bought me a drawing book and like pencils that I can draw, and it's cute. And again, I love like, she's the first person I've actually been in a relationship with or been in close proximity to who has so much dialogues and conversations. Like, we talk about anything and everything, and that is like the greatest thing ever. We spend time walking, we spend time having fun. Like we spend a lot of time smashing each other's asses like spanks, like solid spank. Thato does that all the time in public. She did it yesterday when I was at the office, and I was like, I told you about doing this in public. Like, why? Okay, yeah. But yeah, we do that. We read, and yeah, we read in the bathtub. We read. Yeah, we read and have a lot of fun. We argue and laugh about the argument. This is something that's deep. I know we're trying to run away from the deep stuff, but we cry a lot. Like, we cry a lot. And someone said to me yesterday, they haven't cried in a long time. And I was like, how? When there's so much to cry about, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, but there's we cry a lot because we have a lot of deep conversations about how toxic and how sad society is. But we also fool around a lot. We play VR games with the visualizer and look like mad people.
all the time. And funny, we do this. Hey, this weird thing. It happens when people are around us because people ask us, "How do you play this thing?" And then next thing, wow, it's on and on for hours on, and we play games all the time. Like I practically teach, or treat my phone like it's hers because I'm always like here. And people think, hey, you're typing solid things. Hey, poetry, the door, zero. We play a lot of games. Like literally, Thato had that, when her monthly contract that time comes in. Google Play. Kisho, if Google Play had membership card, yeah, she'd be having a whole lot of points. So we play a lot of games. We talk about a lot of stuff. And we cook a lot. We have different ways of cooking and we have a lot of arguments about that. Because we have different styles of, I just throw everything together and it's like, oh, how is that? That it's this great. And then she's like, why are you so you're not supposed to do it like. So we have a lot of debates about that. And then we debate together as well, which is an awesome thing because I've seldom found someone that shares my love for people and my love for conversations, and also that understands that fam, like kiteng, I understand it, ne, mara there's a caucus and it's urgent.
Okay, I think we're done.
Yay!
Anything else? Okay, thank you so much, Thato.
Oh, did she cover gender roles on like a gay relationship?
Yeah, she talked about
Well, in our relationship.
in her, but
Yeah, but it's the worst thing to have society assume gender roles. It's the worst thing to have to.
Yeah, because I only heard her implied that she's not butch or a man.
Yeah, it's the worst thing to have to walk around with Naledi and have her carry the hip, or have Raymond pass over the heaviest box to her because Ray thinks Naledi is man enough to do it, or is more manly to carry the heavier box. Because we had this conversation not so long ago, we're carrying groceries. And she wanted to take the heavy load. And this is probably because of what she's been through and what the whole society is telling her. The whole, let me carry the heavy stuff and you'll carry the light stuff. I don't like that. Let's share the load. You and I are equals. There's no man in this relationship, that's why I'm in a relationship with a woman. I don't want to be in a relationship with a guy or with a man, or I don't. That's not what I want. So assuming gender roles, Joe.
I remember you told me a story about what they call Naledi at church.
Yeah. Okay, so the church we go to, right? We have a whole lot of butchers who prefer to be called Baba. And they're pastors and preachers and evangelists. So they prefer to be called Baba Mang Mang, and the wives are Bumama. Mind you, these people are lesbian and they are butch. So they identify as males. So it was really awkward and not so pleasant for me to have to hear or imagine that once Naledi and I get married in this church, she'll be called Baba because society or everyone thinks she's more guy because of how she dresses.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It is so crazy. It's crazy to only imagine. I'm only imagining it now. I'm imagining the people or the females or the butchers that are called Bobaba are okay with it, and that is what they prefer.
Is that something common to have someone just change from she to he?
I think it's because of how you see the pastor before you and your senior pastor and mama and all the other families in the church to have baba and mama as the family structure. So to come and be like, no, but mama too, and we're married.
I think also the confusion comes with gender identification.
Yes, because
Because
other
they
people are
identify-
non-binary.
Because
so,
they
like,
identify as male.
male.
She still identifies as a woman.
Yeah.
So they would rather.
But like, I don't understand. Is that like some kind
more
of
a
displeasure
fear.
or something?
It's more of a. I think for us it was more of a fear than it was a. This is wrong. For us it was like, okay, if I become a pastor in this church, it's gonna be tough, guys. Like, you. I don't know if you get me.
But like what I'm saying is it's not a matter of whether or not it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, is it a common thing or...
It's not a common thing in general society. No,
Yeah,
it is a common thing in the community though. Like, it's like what I was saying to the society some other time. Uguti, if when my lesbian butch friends see me, boy, it's boy. Well, sure. I would prefer for you to say boy. Okay. So it is normal in the community. I don't want to lie. Like,
So what? Like because you're a lesbian,
you're a butch
become
lesbian.
a man,
You're a butch lesbian that feels more
like a man than
connected
anything.
to the manly side of, like, you feel
It's not like that whole displeasure
metro.
thing where you're low-key
Trans. No, I always, for me it's a bit
Because
of a
it feels a
conflict.
little
It
like-
does. To me, that's how it feels. Because I know for a fact that there are lesbian friends of mine that don't get child, guys. Like, I don't know how it works. It must be tough, but they don't
get what?
They don't.
No one wants to have sex with them.
No, they don't want to be.
with them.
They don't want you to penetrate their vagina. Let's just say that. In the relationship, the girlfriend does not. They wear their bra during sex. See, BBD. Yeah, you're the one that gets naked. All up in there. Yeah. So it happens. Yeah, I know. I totally feel like this.
Like I'm so confused. I don't even know. Like it's a whole nother conversation. I feel like
Yeah, it is. It is a big conversation.
it's so hard to understand. Also, I feel like it contributes to the confusion of like an ordinary person, like a random straight person. Like how do you act there?
Yeah.
Who do you call
But
he
also,
or
no,
she?
I think every relationship has its own, like, you define the relationship, you define how you look at each other. For Thato, me wearing pants and shirts I steal from my dad doesn't mean, so from when dog. Understand? Whereas in a relationship I was before, it'd be like, no, skapara that, it's so manly. You get me?
Yeah.
So you define like comfortability and all of that is just like the relationship
like
defines
how-
it and shapes it, and so that's why the whole the whole plastic bag thing story, like it happened or not, and then I'm like, no, it's like no, say one, like give her one, and then I laugh. I'm like, wow, man. To think of it, if someone was here with us, they'd probably be like, nah, kuka make it boy, I cook plastic, man. Kafata plastic. You get me? Like it's other people's perspective feeding into your head. So you end up subconsciously behaving according to how you subscribe.